How do we beat the gorosei? Hello One Piece enthusiasts, I'm the One Piece nerd, and today let's talk about how on earth is Luffy and the gang gonna beat the gorosei the next time they meet them. Of course, this time around on Egghead Island, they were lucky enough that the gorosei were summoned by circles, and they weren't physically there, which ensured that, they had an easy way out. The ending of Egghead Island, most probably is the ending of Egghead Island, ended with the gorosei going back to the Room of Authority, everyone except for Saturn, and went back to their rooms, and the Straw Hats were saved. Of course, Saturn is still alive, and it proposes the question as to what the Blackbeard Pirates are doing, but that's for another video. But for now, let's talk about how the gorosei were actually beat, and how the Straw Hats are gonna manage to beat them again. Before we move on, make sure to like and subscribe, it helps the channel out a lot. Now that you have, let's begin. To recap what actually happened within the chapter, Emmett released the haki that was stored within the rope that was from Joy Boy from 800 or 1000 years ago, and that haki was inflicted upon the gorosei, which made their powers go away at first, and then it led to the gorosei going back to the Room of Authority. Now, there are two plausible explanations I've already discussed. In summary, one is the fact that the gorosei's power have some haki threshold, and after that haki threshold or damage threshold is received, they go back to their original forms. Or the other way around is, the haki actually beat the summoning circle, and the summoning circle came from Im. Now, this is of the latter part of the theory, or the plausible explanation, makes the most sense, because remember, when the gorosei were affected by the haki, Imusama as well got damaged, which probably entails that the gorosei and Imusama are somehow connected. This has been theorized for a very long time. I think this confirms it. The gorosei were not individual human beings. They are recreations by Im. I'm not saying they weren't real people. I believe they were real celestial dragons that existed during the Void Century. Imusama somehow recreated them or preserved them in some way, whether through power or whatnot, to bring them back to life again and again, which is why they stay the same over decades and centuries, and now they've basically become a part of Im. With that being said, of course, it goes to show that the haki, the first example of the first person going back to the Room of Authority was Jupiter. When Jupiter went back, he went back because he was defeated by Luffy and Bonnie. Luffy and Bonnie threw Jupiter away, and that probably had enough damage to make sure that either he gets out of that summoning circle range, or that the summoning circle's power was limited, which made them go back. And then it was followed by the rest of the four were affected by Joy Boy's haki, and Saturn stayed, and the other three left. With that being said, it tells us that Luffy's mastery of haki is still not there. The point of Luffy's haki not being there has been prominent all throughout Egghead Island. We've seen Shanks deal massive damage with haki only. We've seen Roger and Whitebeard do so much with it. And now we see Joy Boy with just a flash of haki, and of course really, just a flash of haki, they were able to destroy their enemies almost instantly, whereas Luffy is still not there. Now, as to how Luffy is going to get to the tiers of people like Joy Boy, Roger, and Shanks, I have yet to know. I believe it comes through experiences and Luffy's confidence in himself and his ability to conquer. And Luffy's ability to conquer isn't really prevalent, but of course Joy Boy wasn't the same. I believe Luffy's willpower is still lacking. It's still short compared to what Joy Boy or Roger or maybe even Shanks has. So it is my opinion that with experience in more difficult trials and fights, Luffy will be able to improve his haki to the point where it will get to where Joy Boy's haki was, and of course that will be enough to defeat Im. Now, the key to defeating the gorosei, of course, stands in The Straw Hats, specifically Zoro, Sanji, Luffy, and Jinbei, getting their haki to the point of near perfection. The point I'm coming across is this arc didn't really highlight some haki level improvements that were needed by the Straw Hats. I believe Elbaf will be a continuation of Egghead Island. Egghead Island was just a build up towards Elbaf, and I believe that could be a very good place where the Straw Hats get to train their haki to make it infinitely better. The next time, of course, the gorosei comes around. Now that we understood what actually got them out of the trouble and where they could improve on, now let's come to the point of, alright, the next time they'll probably be fighting is in Pangaea Castle, where there won't be any summoning circles, where there won't be any chance of escape. There has to be directly defeated. And now, with that being said, how on earth do you defeat them? I believe Advanced Conqueror's haki is not enough. The point that has been showed, which is haki can be stored and it can be used over long periods of time and can be reserved for strength, could be used by the Straw Hats in their future battle. Because again, using haki takes energy, it takes out stamina, and of course haki is limited. But if you do find a way to reserve your haki, which is probably how blades become black, I think this is one of the improvements that the Straw Hats might be working towards by the end of the series, where they will be able to store their haki not within themselves but within other things that could be used for later purposes. And of course, it comes along with building their haki. Now, Conqueror's haki cannot be gained by everyone. We know Luffy and Zoro has it, Sanji and Jinbei probably won't. But they can still train their armament haki to the point where it is enough for them to damage the gorosei. Because remember, Bonnie doesn't have Conqueror's haki. Bonnie just simply used her haki to defeat Saturn, and I think getting a strong enough haki is key. And other than that, storing the haki, preserving it for when it is needed the most, would also be very, very, very beneficial. And I wouldn't mind seeing another level of haki that has yet to be mastered by the Straw Hats that we haven't even seen yet, that would help them defeat the gorosei and Im-sama. And the gorosei, if they truly are a part of Im, now it comes to the point of how to actually defeat them. Of course, we've gone over haki can be stored and haki needs to be stronger. Other than that, it doesn't necessarily have to be Conqueror's haki, but there is a level of damage threshold or haki threshold that needs to be there for them to basically eradicate the gorosei. We've seen from Law's example where he said that haki can be used to overcome devil fruit abilities, and if truly the gorosei are a part of Im and Im's devil fruit abilities, I think there basically needs to be a threshold of haki that needs to be met, and that has to be used to the point where the gorosei will be defeated and only Im will remain. I'm not exactly sure as to what the advanced haki could be. I really want there to be something that is beyond what we've seen thus far that will help the Straw Hats go a level beyond. But other than that, I'm not really sure, but this is the surefire way to beat them. That's it for the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think. How on earth will the Straw Hats beat the gorosei when they come face to face without a summoning circle, and how they expect to beat Im-sama with their current strength and what they want to achieve? Do you guys believe that there is another level of haki that we have yet to know about? Let me know all of those in the comments down below. Until next time, peace.